Hello, I'm back with an oracle reading for you today that I pulled last night. Some quite intense messages coming through actually, a lot of channeled stuff, which I'm getting more used to, but I'm still slightly not used to the channeled messages that appear to me. Actually being able to distinguish them from my own thoughts is something that is new. So we're going to get into this. And the first thing that I would like to tell you that I feel you need to know is that you are on time. You are in exactly the right place right now, okay? You may feel that you're a late bloomer. You may have a feeling that, you've been on this huge, massive journey and you are nowhere near where it is that you would like to be at this phase. But I am here to tell you directly from the universe, directly from your angels, that you are on time, okay? There is a huge essence of divine orchestration and divine timing here. There is also a huge sense of there being a greater cause and effect that you might have been unaware of as until this point, but I feel that you are becoming aware of this now. I've been having this image of a puzzle, a jigsaw, and somebody who has spent many years collecting individual pieces of this jigsaw. And finally, they have all of the pieces that they have collected and they are beginning to put the pieces together. And what's coming through is astounding. The way that these puzzle pieces that you have collected are fitting is mind-blowing, okay? That's the energy that I'm getting from you right now. What else have we got? Yes, okay. You are somebody who has walked through the alchemical fire. You are an alchemist, you are a transmutator, you are the magician in tarot, okay? And you may have always felt that you had a very great purpose since a young age. You may have had dreams that kind of maybe felt out of reach, but they felt out of reach because other people didn't do things that way. Other people were not successful in that way. And so you were kind of cropped into a box of believing that that wasn't possible for you either. But I feel that we're very much moving away from this now because of everything that you have experienced. Now, let me make this very, very clear to you. Oh my gosh. This fire that you had to walk through, this alchemical fire, you could not hold the significance of your purpose without first doing this, okay? So yes, maybe you felt behind, maybe you felt like it's been your time for years and yet you have not been able to ascend and to take the place that you know that you are worthy of, okay? But you couldn't do this, you could not hold what you were meant for until you walked through this alchemical fire and you were able to take those very negative, difficult experiences that you had. And because you'd really saved these up, you had bags full. I'm talking to somebody who had bags full of trauma and negativity in their experience that they carried on their back for many years. 10 of Wands is coming into my head, the burden card, okay? And what's really, really special about this is, you are the magician. This is your inherent nature and you're realizing this. But because you had so much trauma and so much negativity to transmute, you've come out of it with so much power. The amount of negativity and trauma has directly related to the amount of power you have been able to come into. And this is somebody who has very much stepped into their power that I'm speaking to, okay? So another thing that really came to mind in this reading was having a sense of frustration. And the reason I'm getting this is because of the balance of water and fire energies that are on this table. There is not a lot of earth on this table, okay? And I believe that right now, let me just show you this. We've got this standstill card. I believe that right now there is a sense of you, the masculine in you is raring to go. They are filled with passion, they are filled with renewed hope, and they are craving that momentum. However, the divine feminine in you, which I do believe you have been very disconnected from until this time, is seeking to luxuriate, is seeking to be at peace, to be still, and to really enjoy the present moment, to stop and smell the flowers, to be in that Venus energy of gratitude, love, and beauty, okay? And what may be really difficult about this, I believe you're very much embodying both energies, okay? But oftentimes when we have very powerful masculine energies, and I do believe your masculine energy is very powerful because you've had to be in this energy for years, okay? And so there may be a slight tug of war between the masculine and feminine currently going on, where one part of you is really aching for this movement and this change and, you know, just striving forward, cutting ahead. And the other part of you is really telling you to take a moment, to take a breath, to rest, to meditate, to reflect because of how far you've come. Okay, there is a raring to go energy, but the divine feminine is telling you to take a moment, to be calm, to be still, to see how far you've come, and to really kind of let her come out, to let her bloom, to let her blossom, and let her kind of take the reins from the masculine somewhat, so that it can be a balanced, energetic exchange between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And when you have that balance of energies inside, this is when things are really going to change for you. It's also when divine union with a partner becomes possible, okay? So that might be significant for you at this time. You may be somebody who's currently thinking about that, thinking about your relationships, thinking about your soul family, okay? And when you are embodying this level of duality and this polarity of masculine and feminine, you know, this is when things are really going to start to pick up and change for you. Well, it's really strange to me. There are a lot of Indian names that are being channeled to me right now when I'm doing my readings. And as I was writing this stuff down about this reading, the name Anishwar came to my head. I didn't know it was a name. I just thought it was a sound. And I thought, okay, I'm going to look this up and see what it means. And it came up as a name of Indian origin. That means supreme God, or God who has no ruler. And this was so significant, so very significant, because really what this reading is about claiming self-authority, self-autonomy, being your own guidance, your own teacher, trusting your intuition and not seeking answers or advice externally, pertaining to the path that you are supposed to take, because you are paving a brand new path. Nobody has walked this path before. You know, they have, but potentially not within your immediate vicinity, okay? So the way currently might not be very clear to you. And that is how you know that you are on your path, okay? Because you become blind. So this this channeled name that came through, as I was reading about it, I wrote down Emperor Energy. And the Emperor keeps appearing to me quite frequently. So I'm speaking to people who are divinely selected for roles of leadership, and kind of to be in a position of power. Not power as in wanting to control people, but power as in wanting to lead people towards the light, okay? And I wrote down Emperor Energy. And as I continued reading about this name, I got to the bottom and it said that the zodiac sign of this name was Aries. And the Emperor is an Aries card, okay? So that was just an extra confirmation for this channeled name that came through. Anishwar, it might mean something to you. You might know somebody who's named this. You may be considering naming a child this. I don't really know the significance to you personally, but it's definitely significant to this reading. Anyways, let's get some more into, oh no, there's one more thing that I need to mention about that name actually. And this particular spelling of this name, and the spelling is Anneeshwar. This particular spelling of this name emphasizes a role of guardianship and being a protector. And it's often associated with the deity Shiva. And what's really cool about this is that in many of the readings I've done, we have had reference to Shiva and the fact that he swallows the poison of the world and transmutes it in his throat. And this is the person that I'm speaking to now. I'm speaking to somebody who has transmuted the poison and the negativity that they have experienced, and they have turned it into nectar of the soul nectar. And this nectar has been healing them. It's been allowing them to cultivate a deeper connection with the divine and with spirit. I'm noticing this white dove here. So white doves may be a very significant bird for you. So Anishwar, very interesting channeled name that came through there, but I'm going to get into the cards now. So we have the curse and we have the lower world. So I'm speaking to somebody who has been on a journey through their own shadow. They have been on a journey and, descended into the depths of self to recover parts of them that they had neglected, that they had cut themselves off from. This may pertain to dreams that you had as a child, things that you wanted for yourself, but you didn't think were possible, as I said. And you have come to a realization that these things were your greatest gifts. They were your soul's purpose. They were what you were put here for. And you have now collected that which you previously rejected and reintegrated that into the self. I got the Time Master. And this is why I believe I'm speaking to somebody who's currently in this standstill, who is concerned with timing. You have been concerned because, you really do feel that you should be somewhere very different to the place that you're currently in. It may have to do with kind of feeling very abundant internally, feeling very spiritually abundant, and yet in the material realm, in the physical plane, not yet seeing that reflected back to you. Okay. And what this Time Master is telling you is that everything is in divine timing. Everything was supposed to happen exactly as it happened to bring you to this portal that you stand at the door of now, to bring you to this rebirth that you have experienced or are currently experiencing, okay? And this is a message not to worry. You are where you are meant to be. You are not behind. Do not let those who are external, who are progressing in certain ways, do not let their progress make you feel like you are making no progress. Do not let this kind of external pursuit of material, of career, of all of those kinds of things, let you undervalue the inner progress you've made, the inner work that you have done, okay? Because the inner work at the end of the day is the most important thing that you can dedicate yourself to. It's the thing that will truly change your life. And this is what you've done. You've done this inner work. You are doing this inner work. You are integrating lost parts of the self. You are breaking generational curses that kept you small, that kept you trapped. I'm really noticing this handprint on her mouth. This is somebody who has felt that they could not speak. This is somebody who has felt that their truth was not worthy of being shared. This is somebody who felt that they had to pretend, they had to wear a mask. And no more, okay? No more. We have the medicine wheel. You are healing this, okay? This is an incredible combination of cards. The curse, the lower world, standstill, the Time Master, and the medicine wheel. This is divine timing. This is divinely orchestrated. This healing period that you are in, do not rush this. I feel that there is a sense of needing to rush forward because we really feel ready for this, okay? And I'm not surprised. Everything you've been through, being able to kind of come to this new sense of being, I am not surprised that you are ready to rush forwards, okay? But what this is telling me is that you need to take this moment of peace and stillness because yes, things are going to pick up for you and they are going to be picking up very quickly. And so at this time, please do luxuriate in this peace that you have been able to find and you have been able to cultivate within the self, okay? Because things are going to get busy. And this is a very integral moment for you to be able to ground into this new identity, okay, that you have been fostering. We got from the Pocket Animal Spirit deck, we got the beaver. So this is somebody who is very diligent. I do think that this pertains to the self-work that you have done as well. You have really committed yourself to this, okay? And I believe that the reason that you have really committed yourself to this is likely because of difficulty in relationships, difficulty in friendships, difficulty with external connections in which you placed your worth, okay? And now you have placed your worth in yourself. And, you're working diligently on the connection you have with the self. And as a byproduct of that, the connection that you have with the divine, okay? You're working on the connection with the highest self, which is source energy, which is that piece of source that is at the seat of the soul, okay? And you've been very, very committed to this, okay? You may not have had all of your props. You may not have, received all of your flowers for the work that you have done, but it is coming. Hold on, it is coming, okay? We have this crocodile card. This represents this idea of standstill, of waiting perfectly. So really what this crocodile does is, if you notice a crocodile, kind of they are submerged in the water, and I believe that this represents you intuitively. Okay, you are within the intuitive realm. You're seeing beyond the veil. You're receiving messages, downloads, guidance from your spirit team, because you've got this connection to source. But also the crocodile, it can sit for hours waiting for something to happen. Okay, it waits for that perfect right opportunity to make its move, and it will just sit there patiently. And I believe that this is the advice for you currently. This standstill that you are in is not stagnancy. Do not confuse it with stagnancy. I believe that you're someone who has experienced very stagnant periods of time, and it may feel similar, but that is not what this is. You are not stagnant, okay? What you are doing is gathering yourself, exploring your senses, being present and attuned to the moment as this crocodile, and waiting for the perfect time to shine, to rise, okay? And another perfect example with this, we've got the whale card. The whale, amazing. So, instantly this gives me somebody who's very, very wise, very wise. But really what this whale card speaks to me of is somebody who has been very much exploring the ocean, exploring the depths, okay? But what do whales do? Whales come to the surface. They throw themselves out of the water and they meet the air. And I believe that this is exactly what it is that you're waiting for. This is that moment that you are waiting for, that moment where you are going to ascend from the depths and meet the air, meet the sky, be seen. You are going to be seen in all your glory, in all your beauty. It is a stunning, magical thing to watch a whale flip out of the water. It's primordial, it's primal, okay? This primal animal instinct, I feel, is really what you're feeling now. You really want to come back from this lower world that you have spent much of your time in and be met with the light, okay? And okay, so just to show you, these three are water cards, and then we have the two fire cards. Okay, we have cheetah and we have the cobra. This cobra is no surprise that we're in the year of the snake. The year represents kind of shedding skin, completion, ending cycles, releasing that which no longer serves and that which is no longer aligned with the energy that we are fostering. Excuse me. This cheetah card, it's very heavy masculine energy. It's the energy of the sun, radiating the sun outwards, okay? And you're really wanting to charge ahead like this cheetah, the fastest animal on earth. That's what you want to be. You want to charge ahead. This snake, this cobra, this is the card of being a mentor, of being a teacher, of kind of teaching others the way. And when I'm thinking of a snake, I'm thinking of how it slithers and how it flows and kind of the motion of the snake, okay? So really, I feel that this is you being very in control of yourself, of your body, of your thoughts, and being able to teach this way of being to others. And this is really what you're striving for. It's really what you want to go for, but you do kind of feel that you are at this standstill. And I'm here to tell you that this standstill is divinely orchestrated. It is for a reason. It's so that you have time to really ground the energy that you have been fostering within yourself. Okay, and just as I'm saying about this Cobra card being the teacher, as we pulled from another deck and we got the Great Teacher card. This is giving me Yeshua, this is giving me Christ consciousness. There is something very humble about this person. They're very, very humble about their connection to the divine. They're so humble because they know that this material earthly realm is really nothing in comparison to what they are at their core. And that allows them to really detach from the egoic tendencies that kind of control many people. You are this great teacher, okay? The curses you have broken, the things you have reintegrated into the self, that is your goal, that is your purpose, This this thing that you have been through that felt like it was never ending, this was your initiation. This is an initiation into a higher level of being. I'm getting the spiral in my head, and look at that. We also have kind of this spiral energy in the Cheetah card. But this is all about kind of shining those lessons outwards, leading the way for others. Obviously, this is the Sun card as well. So yeah, really shining your light, and this is the fastest animal, paving the way, showing the way, okay? We also got Earth Mother. Feel loved and comforted. This is high Venus energy once again, very much to do with the divine feminine. And at this time, I mean, look at her. She's relaxing. She's enjoying. She's not pushing. She just is. And she is content just to be. And I feel that this is a lesson for you at this time. I feel like you're somebody who has never really had a chance to luxuriate within the divine feminine energy. And this moment of pause, this moment before you really start to run towards this goal, towards this thing that you see for yourself, is sacred. This is a sacred time, okay? And you should treat it as so. You know, it's all about self-love and self-care and investing in the self, investing in what you have realized of the self, and really investing in that which makes you feel good and that which is going to help you progress towards this next level that you desire for yourself, okay? And you are divinely protected in this. This was a huge divine orchestration on your behalf, okay? This was destiny. This was destined. You are not behind. You are just on divine timing, okay? We have Medicine Mother. Honor your inner knowing, and Medicine Wheel. Yes, we are healing. We are healing our link with our intuition. We are healing our trust in ourselves, okay? Perhaps you had a lack of trust in the decisions you were making, and the reason you felt this lack of trust was because things were going wrong. The reason that they were going wrong was because you were functioning from a place of boundaries, of restriction, and you were watering yourself down and trying to be something that you were not, okay? And so you know, this kind of lack, this disconnection with the true spiritual self, with the higher self, really disconnected you from your intuition, from guidance, from being able to receive guidance from your angels, from your ancestors. And I really believe that for many years, you know, you may have had lots of coincidences throughout your life that it felt like it was something beyond you, okay, but you didn't really accept it. You just kind of shrugged it off. And you're not doing that anymore. You're seeing your intuition and your inner knowing as sacred because you know thyself. You have come to know thyself, and that has changed everything for you, okay? We got this Spirit Fox. Trust your talents in changing times. And then we got the Animal Guardian, which is trust your instincts. There is a lot here about the idea of kind of embodying this primal force, getting back in touch with the animalistic and sensuous nature that is inherent to all of us. And this kind of sensuous nature is very highly linked with creativity and intuition as well. A connection with the earth, a connection with the Earth Mother herself, and her guides, and the way that these kind of show up for you, and seeing the comfort and the love that the mother wishes to offer you every single day. You may have been somebody who struggled with female relationships in your life, finding a sense of wholeness, finding a sense of love. And the Earth Mother is here to remind you that she is the ultimate embodiment of love. And you can connect to her for that sense of fulfillment and love at any time, okay? So nature at the moment will be very significant to you, kind of going out into nature, smelling the flowers, rejuvenating, luxuriating, and just being present with all that is currently, okay? Trust your talents in changing times as well. You know, this gives me that, you know, things are very much changing for you. You are entering a new timeline pretty much. And whereas previously, you know, you didn't trust your gifts, you didn't trust your inner knowing, because you didn't really realize what they were and where they were leading you, okay? And you've come to this realization now. You've come to this realization that you are a very talented and unique individual, and you have something special to offer, okay? And you are really being guided to trust in this. I mean, it says trust your talents and trust your instincts. So we have trust twice here. You have the answers. You have all of the answers that you need within, okay? And you can tap into this internal knowing that you have that is intrinsic to you in order to light the way down this path. And as I said, you may currently feel like you cannot see where you are going, and that is a good thing. It's a very, very good thing, okay? So from the Healing Waters deck, and I loved this when this came out, it was perfect. Oh, yeah, let me just quickly show this one. Water codes, ancient wisdom, the intelligence is within you. This is all about turning inwards. Completely. It's about completely retracting your attention from the material physical world and kind of moving away from the need to control the material and the physical and moving into an energy of magnetization instead, which is taking the burden from you. It's taking the burden away, okay? Because you were very burdened by this energy of feeling the need to really go after everything. And this is changing for you, okay? You're stepping into your divine feminine. You're balancing these energies. They're no longer at war with each other. You no longer berate yourself for taking rest, for taking rejuvenation, and embodying the divine feminine. We had a message come up about sexual shame regarding feminine energy. So that may be something that also kind of relates to you, feeling like it was unsafe to embody the feminine, okay? We have this sacred well. Replenishment, self-care, and giving from a place of plenty. This is exactly it. This time of standstill that you are in, with this medicine wheel, with this healing, and we have this medicine mother here as well. You know, a lot about healing, deep cellular internal healing here. You are really being advised to replenish this journey. You've slayed the dragon is what I want to say. You have slayed the dragon that has haunted your village for centuries. Wow. You've slayed the dragon. And now it's time to rest and celebrate, okay? You deserve to celebrate this. This has been an incredible feat, you know, and please do acknowledge what you have managed to do, because many people, you know, are not able to turn their attention inwards for long enough to face and defeat that dragon that has kept them trapped, okay? That has kept them trapped in this kind of lower frequency, this lower vibration. You're healing the family lineage. You're doing it. You're healing. Not only, you know, those who came previously, but those who come after. We also got the wellspring. This is very strange. We got the sacred well and the wellspring. The wellspring says, what are you thirsty for? Body care and take a breath. Yes. This is all about really, really funneling your energy, and you have this very passionate, fiery energy, and you really want to do something with it. And this is my advice to you. And you know, you're a transmutator. You walk through the alchemical fire, so this shouldn't be so difficult considering what you've already been through. You really need to channel this fiery energy, this passion, into passion for self, into passion for that which makes you feel rested, rejuvenated, loved, held, healthy. You know, maybe it's, I mean, I did some painting yesterday. Maybe painting is significant for you as well. Just kind of being in that flow state of creation. The masculine energy at this time is kind of fighting to have the recognition that it has always felt it should have. I feel there's always been a knowing that you were meant to do something, you were meant to speak some kind of truth and be seen for it, okay? But this masculine is going to have to wait a little bit longer, because we are only just getting used to really fully embodying the divine feminine when we need to, okay? And it's like you've got the training wheels on almost, you know, you're not used to this duality, this polarity of energies that you're currently holding. And it's going to take some time to get used to it, okay? But give yourself that time, give yourself that patience. That's all about the divine feminine energy, patience, and really trusting yourself, okay? And refilling yourself. This is what you're doing at this time. I'm going to grab some oracle cards, the ones that I made, but I'm going to go and get them, so just bear with me. I've just looked in my book, and another thing that I wrote down last night was torchbearer. And, you know, this is really relating to this idea of being kind of spiritually enlightened, having this light, shining this light outwards and being able to lead the way for others. This is something that I believe you are. You are a spiritual torch bearer, okay? Let's get some from my own deck, and then we're going to leave the reading there. But, you know, an incredible journey that you have been on, and you are very much at the precipice of this brand new life that you really wanted to create for yourself. And I believe that you've wanted to create this life since you were a young child. It's something that you've always considered, but it's only recently that you are considering it realistic, okay? That's the difference in energy. And you're somebody who is supposed to teach this. You're somebody who has been through so much, and you didn't go through all of that for no reason. It was never for no reason. We have assistance on the top of the deck. Yeah, assistance. You're being assisted in this. This was always your destined path. This is your true north that you are facing now. You're facing your north node, whereas before you were very much facing your south node. And I don't think you even had any idea that there was a north node for you, you know? This is something that's really come to your attention recently. Surrender. Yes, divine feminine. At this time of this standstill where you may be feeling kind of stagnant because you really want to push forward, but you're also torn because I feel intuitively you know that right now is the time to rest and recuperate and to really kind of ground in this divine feminine energy. So there is a tiny tug of war going on between these two energies, but I do feel that generally these energies are very balanced. At this time, you're being asked to surrender to the divine timing of this, because it is incredibly divine timing. It's destiny. You do not need to worry. Co-creation. Yes, okay, so whereas before things were just happening to you, you've now stepped into the energy of the co-creator. You are co-creating with the divine. You're in direct communion with the divine about this path. And, you know, you make one move and the universe makes the next, basically. You have the best friend that you could ever have on your side currently in the universe, because the universe is watching you, it's celebrating you, and it's going to move on behalf of you because you have chosen this path, because you have broken curses. I really feel there's a strong ancestor presence in this around you at this time, celebrating you, celebrating what you have done for them, okay? Because you have done something incredible for them. You have freed them. There may be ancestors who are around you who didn't get to do certain things in their life. They had certain gifts that they were never able to share. Once again, we have this woman with the hand on her mouth, over her mouth, and you're doing that now. And this is just an incredible thing for those who came before you, who were never able to do that, okay? What else, please? Who am I speaking to? What else? Whoa. Haha. Yes, we have good karma. This is incredible, absolutely incredible. The wheel is turning. We have this medicine wheel as well. So Wheel of Fortune may be significant. Good karma coming your way for all that you have done, for all that you have walked through. And what's important here is the fact that despite all the bitterness and all the negativity that you have been subjected to, and all the poison you have swallowed, you never let it harden your heart. You kept your heart open. You know, you had courage. And you were kind. Cinderella may be a significant film for you. This is a Cinderella story. You're going from rags to riches. You know, you're going from someone who was severely mistreated and severely kind of on the back burner, underestimated, you know, and you're rising to your spiritual throne. You know, you are somebody who is meant to be in a position of spiritual power. And this is what you're awakening to at this time. Yes. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Ascended Masters, okay? You may be seeing 111, 222, 333. These are people who have been on Earth and have come to enlightenment. You know, they found the way. They've seen the sacred language of the universe. They've answered the call. And these masters are heavily around you at this time, and it's because you are doing the same thing. You are walking the path that they walked. You know, these may be very far removed from you, these people. But, you know, whether you knew it or not, You're walking the path of the Ascended Masters, and this is a very, very special and unique path to be walking on, okay? There are not many people who will really commit and dedicate themselves to this path. But once you really kind of see, once you see past the matrix, once you're zoomed out, it really is the only path that's available for you to follow, because you cannot go back into the cage, you know, there is no way. So, you know, you have the assistance, you have the assistance of the Ascended Masters at this time, okay? Wonderful, absolutely beautiful. Let's have a look. Here we go. Another 4 that just fell off. We have expand your perception. Expand your perception. That's exactly what you've done. You've zoomed out of the matrix. Your perception of life, of the world, of what kind of being on this physical plane entails has expanded to include vibration, to include frequency, to include the knowledge that mind precedes matter, okay? Consciousness is all that is and all that was. Before physical material, you know, came into being, it was only consciousness. And consciousness is something that scientists cannot wrap their heads around, okay? And it exists, but it doesn't exist. So, I mean, if you think about kind of before all material matter came into being, what can exist and not exist at the same time? Consciousness. That's where it started, with consciousness, okay? And you're realizing this. Soul family, yes. Yes, you're calling in your soul family for this mission. You've accepted the mission. You've accepted that this is what you were supposed to do. You know, there may be a sense of frustration, like I say, but you know where you're headed. Despite how you may kind of feel at a standstill, you know exactly where it is that you're going now. You know, the way there might not be clear, the way there may seem dark, but you know the end destination, and you are really willing to dedicate yourself to achieving this, okay? Really willing to dedicate yourself and work on this. Forgive them. Okay, yeah. So when it comes to breaking generational curses, they're kind of maybe a why me kind of attitude, and I get that. We're all human, and you know, you have human emotions, and sometimes it can be a lot, and it can really kind of make you feel drained and exhausted, and you think, well, why did I have to inherit and break all of these cycles? You know, why me? And this is asking you to forgive your ancestors, okay? You know, you not only inherited the bad stuff, the stuff that kind of kept them trapped, but you inherited their gifts as well. There may be gifts that you have that you kind of are not sure where they came from, like nobody else in your family has this particular persuasion, but somewhere in your line there is an ancestor who had that gift, who has given this gift to you, okay? And you need to celebrate them. You know, you don't just kind of look at them and say, well, why couldn't you do this? Why did you leave this to me to do? Because they've given you more than just their pain, okay? Forgive them. And if there is anybody who kind of is currently sticking within your energy from your previous cycle, from your previous life, this is an invitation to drop the burden, to let them go, because they were integral in bringing you to this point, okay? It was all divinely orchestrated, and I mean all of it. Every single thing that happened to you, every puzzle piece that you've collected is now going to be put together into the most beautiful divine jigsaw, okay? You have self-love. This is what it's all about. This divine feminine energy. Really be within this energy right now, you know? There is no need to rush forward. You may want to rush forward because that's how you've always done things, but there is no need. Spirit is telling you that everything is where it should be. Everything is in place. You are in perfect alignment for this destiny that you see for yourself, okay? You do not need to worry anymore. You've spent all of your life worrying and fighting and striving. That is over. You can let that go, okay? Look how he's letting go this dove. He's letting it go. He's having faith that it will fly on its own and it will go where it needs to go. And that is what you need to do at this time, okay? We have transcendence, yes. You are transcending your previous cycle. You are transcending that which kept you trapped. You are transcending an outdated identity that did not serve you, okay? And you're doing this so very graciously. And, you know, the amount of power that you're stepping into right now is unmatched. you know, and you should be so very proud of yourself. We have karmic cycle on the top of the deck, exactly what I'm talking about. Breaking curses, breaking karmic cycles that have been within your family for generations, and you have done that. I'm so very proud of you. Congratulations. I'm going to end the reading there, but I'm very excited to do another one and get some more updates for you on this journey that you are on. You know, please take the time to see how far you have come, because the work that you are doing is beyond incredible.